Hi, this is Vicki with Learning Home Volunteers, and welcome to our new learning session entitled Let's Build It. Building is one of the activities that we associate with young children, and actually, the National Association for Education of Young Children believes that if you can only have one toy in your house, it should be a set of blocks. So, following that advice, we've created a small set of blocks for your child and have developed an entire session devoted to building and tearing things down. Well, let's face it, it's almost as much fun to knock the blocks down or to deconstruct the blocks as it is to build them up. And we are going to use a wrecking ball, just like the professionals. But don't you worry, we are going to challenge your learner to build up all sorts of things from all sorts of materials, including paper bags and blocks and boxes. All should be super fun. Well, we have three great books to inspire our building. The first is actually written by Nikki Alling and talks about what the child imagines when they try to build with blocks. It's really a lovely book. Our second book is Jack the Builder. Jack actually loves to build and count, and he challenges us to try to build what he's built. And our last book is actually called Not a Box. And it's so funny. The adults say that they see a box on the cover of this book, and the rabbit shows us what it really means to him. Well, let's get started with our first activity. This is activity number one. We're going to actually create a wrecking ball for your child to knock over their blocks and cups and all sorts of things. So we need to get the ball ready. We're going to actually use rubber bands around the ball at 90-degree sections. So you put one rubber band one way and another back the other. This rubber band wrap will connect to the links that we've actually provided. So you want to connect the links to a back of a chair and then connect them to the ball, um, kind of using a linky kind of setup like this, and then put the ball on the links at the bottom and then get ready to knock things down. We provided other things to knock down too, other than blocks, Dixie cups, little colored glasses, Legos, and I'm sure your learner will have lots of ideas on what to knock down that they find from their own home. Well, this is activity number two. We had a different kind of idea for paper bags this session. Last session, we hid things in the bag and then tried to figure out what was inside. This time, we're actually going to make houses and we provided little paper bags, but you can use paper bags of all sizes. And inside, you're going to find a bag marked with a number two, and you can cut out shapes to use for windows or doors or window boxes or whatever fits their vision. I find decorating it on the flat makes it easier to glue and draw, but you can set it up and then fill it with junk mail to get the real effect. You can certainly use a piece of construction paper at the top to staple it, glue it closed. Maybe your house needs a yard or other houses on the street or a grocery store or a toy store in your neighborhood. You could add your address, maybe a mailbox or two, and then it begins to look like your neighborhood. We've also included a flat cardboard template for a house that they can draw on and make windows and doors so that they can decorate it however they like. Our next activity, number three, is a block shape puzzle. And it is a little bit strange, but what we wanted to be able to do was to give our little ones a puzzle to do using the blocks that we sent out your way. So for our adults, we want you to trace the pieces onto the paper, um, and then we're going to challenge our little ones um, to put the right kind of block in the puzzle. So why is this so strange? Well, adults see the red triangle in the picture as a triangle and matches it up right away. But for our little ones, they're still developing their visual discrimination skills. Visual discrimination is simply being able to tell the differences and similarities in the objects based on size, color, and shape. It's these skills that allow us to recognize letters or written numbers, but it also helps us interpret facial expressions and body language, which obviously is an essential skill. There are lots of different activities which we work on this skill, including puzzles and recognizing opposites, sorting, and sequencing. So you'll find um, a, a roll of paper in your box, and you can create your own puzzle. Obviously, you can use the blocks that we provided, but you might want to actually trace some other things. Um, and if your learner actually liked this kind of activity, using things on the floor or matching it up, here are some more ideas. The first idea actually involves using some tape. You make a simple shape, and this one happens to be a square in painter's tape, but it could have been a circle or a triangle on the ground or using chalk. And then you have them try to actually fill it with the blocks, figuring out how to put as many blocks as they can in there so that it actually fills it up. Or you could try using a cereal block and your blocks and trace them on the back and then have them cut it out and you can make your own puzzle. Kind of fun, right? So those are just some extra ideas about visual discrimination and creating puzzles to help with that. Well, this is activity number 4, and we've created some building task cards. And to make the process of building just a little bit more fun, these challenge cards are real life inspiration for your builder. So using the materials provided, can they build a tunnel or a ramp or one of the other things? Don't know. Can't wait to see. Well, that's all for this week. We'll see you next week.